guys, for today's video, props that we're using include a strap and 2 folded blankets. So if you need to pause the video, I recommend doing that now, grabbing those items, and then coming right back. Otherwise, let's get started. Today we're going to start in Baddakonasana, bound ankle pose. So have 1 to 2 folded blankets in the middle of the mat, and then you're going to come sit up on the blankets, just at the edge of the blankets. You can start with your feet extended forward. And then you're going to take your right leg. You can go ahead and take your hand, lift up the inner thigh, roll your calf forward, and bring that heel in towards your groin. And then you're going to do the same thing with the left leg. You're going to lift that inner thigh, kind of roll that calf forward, bring the feet together, and then sit up in Baddakonasana, bound ankle pose. So immediately you'll notice it's kind of a natural reaction. You want to grab the front toes. Okay, and that's fine to do so to help us adjust to this pose. So you're going to grab the toes, press your feet into one another, lift and lengthen the chest. Take a minute to feel the upper body. Take a few nice deep breaths. Okay, and then we're going to work on getting the knees to the floor. So what we're going to do is we're going to lengthen inner thighs to inner knees. Then you're going to draw your outer thighs into your hip bones. Okay, and that should help get them lower. You kind of keep gently pulling against the toes to create that length. And then just focus on those 2 actions for now. Lengthening the inner thighs, drawing the outer thighs into the hips, and then lift and lengthening the chest. So focusing on the legs and the upper body. Keep the neck long. Start it soft. Relax the face. Of course, the idea is that we eventually get the knees to the floor. And if your knees are really high still, you can add more blankets. So just seeing what that looks like. Add a little more height. Okay, just folding one of the blankets under a little. Okay, and then you can take your hands behind your back, okay, behind the outer hips. Keep pressing the feet together and keep lengthening those inner thighs. Aiming to get the knees to touch the floor. Keep pressing the tripods of the feet into one another. As you do so, your toes will want to lift and lengthen away from one another. With your hands by your sides, lift the chest. Take the middle of the back in so the front of the chest responds. One more breath. Okay, and then to come out of the pose, take your hand to your knee, lengthen one leg, and then the other. Okay, spread the toes, press the inner legs down. Let's do a quick forward bend, Paschimottanasana. And you can gently ease into the pose here. And if you want, you can scoot off with your supports to come into the pose. Okay, so press the inner thighs down, lengthen through the heels, spread the toes, grab the toes, and bring your forehead towards the legs. You can let the elbows come out to the sides a little bit to help open the front of the chest more. One more breath. Draw the shoulder blades down into the back. Okay, and then inhale and come up. Okay, then we're going to do bound finger pose and hero's pose. So Baddanguliasana and inVirasana. So you can come forward onto your knees, separate the feet, take your hands, roll your calves out, bring your bottom down in between your legs. Okay, and then you'll notice I kind of shift my ankles in so that they're hugging my outer hips. Take your fingers, spread those toes, actively spread all 10 toes and then press them down. Hands to the mid-thighs. Inhale, lift the chest. Lift the sternum, lengthen the side ribs, keep the spine long. Okay, expand the rib cage as you breathe in all directions. Press the toes down. Okay, and this is Virasana, hero's pose. So if it's hard to get your bottom to go completely to the floor, you can take one of your blankets, you can roll it up, you can sit on the blanket if you'd like. All right, and then bound finger pose. So you're going to interlock your fingers, thumb tips touch, roll the wrist forward, lengthen the middle of your wrist. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, keep the shoulder blades in the back, but lengthen through the wrist up towards the ceiling. Try to keep the palms flat to the ceiling. Continue to press the toes down, keep the hips grounded. You can lift the bottom ribs up for some length. One more breath. And then inhale, come down slowly. Do not let go of the interlock of your palms though. Notice which pinky is on top. Switch that interlock so that the other pinky is on top. And when I say to lengthen your inner wrist, lengthen the inner wrist right here. Focus on that area. Okay? So let's see. All right, so palms face forward. Inhale, lift the chest, tuck the shoulder blades down. Exhale, press the toes down, but lengthen the wrist up towards the ceiling. Keep the elbows back in line with the ears. Lengthen the side ribs. Keep the breath soft, throat soft. Try not to tense any muscles in your face. Keep extending up through the wrist. One more breath. Good, and then inhale, come down, bring your palms forward. You can bend the elbows, take your hands to your thighs, and one more breath here. Okay, then we're gonna do Supta Virasana, reclining hero's pose. I really enjoy this pose. If you have a proper bolster, you can use a bolster, or you can create kind of a bolster with some blankets. Okay, so I'm going to make a bolster to lie back on in this pose. And I'm going to use 2 blankets. Just kind of roll them up like so. And then you can have a third support for the head. If you have a third blanket, you can use that. You can also use a block. I'll just be demonstrating with the 2 blankets though. Okay, so have your blankets on your mat, and then you're going to come into Virasana maybe a foot or so in front of your mat. Spread the legs, grab your calves, bring your bottom down. Tuck your heels in so that they hug your hips. You can take your fingers, I like to do it like that, and actually spread my toes and then press them down. Bring your bolster, your blankets in so that they're touching the back of your buttocks. And then come into cupped palms by your sides. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and then from your palms, you're going to keep going down till you're on your elbows. And then you're going to come down all the way. Okay, and then, so this is pretty much the pose, but now we'll go through a few things. You can grasp the sides of the mat to help lengthen the sides of the chest, and then relax the arms by your sides. Okay, continue to spread the toes, lengthen the toes towards your shoulders. Let the arms rest. Let the palms face the ceiling. Keep the legs together. If your legs are having a hard time staying together, you can take a strap and place it around your mid-thigh and kind of gently keep them in place. Of course, you don't want it to be too snug. You want to be able to stay in this pose for several minutes, but that will help you keep the thighs together. You want the inner thighs to touch, the legs to stay there in place. Okay. And then for a deeper stretch, you can take your inner thighs down a little bit, lengthen the front of the thighs, lengthen the pelvis, keep the neck long, soften the throat. And again, if you have a third blanket nearby, you can certainly place it under your head, going the opposite direction for a little more support there. Okay, so like I said, you can stay in this pose for 5 to 10 minutes if you're able to. Okay, focus Focus on the body, breathing into the entire body. Let the eyelids relax. Close the eyes here. You turn off the lights or cover your eyes even if you have a shirt or anything nearby like that. So enjoy the pose, enjoy the stretch. Breathe into wherever your awareness is being drawn to. If it's really tense and difficult to relax, you can absolutely add more supports. You can even use a chair in this pose. If you really have a hard time going back even with additional blankets and additional supports. I will try to film that in another video. Okay, so let the shoulders rest. Arch. We'll press into the shoulder blades to help encourage the chest to lift even more. Okay, we'll stay for a few more breaths. Feel the expansion along the front of the chest. This pose will help with elasticity in the lungs. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and come out, but like I said, you can stay in this pose even longer if you'd like. So go ahead and grasp the outer edges of your mat, turn your arms out, press into the elbows, and then as you're able to, take your palms down, and then come up all the way. Okay, and then to come forward, use your hands to come in front of the knees, and then you're going to cross your ankles, sit back, push back your supports if needed, and then swing the legs forward in Baddakonasana. Let's do another Paschimottanasana, quick forward bend here. Okay, so press the inner thighs down, extend through the heels, spread the toes out, pointing straight up. Reach your arms up overhead, and then inhale, exhale, lengthen the upper body as you extend over the legs. Okay, work your way forward. Pull shoulder blades down, but lengthen the sternum, lengthen the front of the chest. One more breath, inhale, exhale, inhale again, begin to come up all the way, and then we're going to do trianga, mukhaikapada, Paschimottanasana, another forward bend. So take one or two of your blankets, I'm going to demonstrate with one, and have it along the right edge of your mat, and then come sit at the edge of that blanket. If you want to use a strap, this is a pose that you can use. Strap forward if you'd like. Okay, so sitting at the edge of the blanket, you're going to shift your weight over so that only the right buttocks is on the blanket. You're going to swing your left leg back in inVirasana, in Hero's pose. You're going to grab that calf and you're going to roll it out. Okay, so your left buttocks is on the floor, left toes are pointing straight back, left heel is hugging your hip, and your right leg is extending forward. Okay, I will demonstrate with a strap and then you can choose if you don't want to use it. So if you're using the strap, you're going to have a medium to large size loop in it. Okay, and you're going to place that underneath of your toe on balance under your foot. All right, so my right leg is extending forward, but I'm also actively pressing my inner right thigh down, extending through that heel. Using the strap, you're going to grasp and you're going to roll the wrist out so that they're facing one another. Elbows slightly bent, and then you're going to kind of pull into the strap to take the middle of the shoulder blades in and to lift the chest. Okay, lengthen the sternum, lengthen the side ribs. Remember, as you inhale, you want the ribs to expand in all directions. Okay, so just like a flower blooming. All right, and then gently pulling on the strap, inhale, lift. Exhale, and then you're going to begin working your way down towards your toes. You can gaze at your toes here. Okay, so you can continue to use the strap to help give that pull, to help lengthen the front of the body and to keep the shoulder blades coming in. But as you're able to, you can take your hand to your foot, to your toes, or you can continue to use the strap. So my left toes are pressing down, gazing at my toes, still roll the upper arms out and keep coming forward. So for now, my back's in a concave position. If your back's rounding, then come up a little bit here. Okay, at least at first. So we'll go down all the way, but take a few breaths in the concave position. Lengthening both sides of the chest evenly. One more breath. And then you're going to bring your nose towards your knee. Okay, still pressing the inner right thigh down, pressing left toes down. If you need to add more blankets under that right hip, you can. If you feel like your hips are uneven or you're wanting to lean to the side or you're uncomfortable, try adding that blanket. Okay, so work your way to the pose. Soften the throat, relax the breath, try to be comfortable here. Okay. One more breath, inhale. Exhale. And then come up. Take a breath first in the concave position. And then you can remove the strap. Lean towards your right, swing that left foot forward. Take both hips off of your blanket or blankets, and then move the blanket to the left side of your mat. Okay, and then sitting up on the blanket evenly at first. And then you're going to shift your weight to the side so that only the left buttocks is on the blanket. You're going to swing your right leg back, inVirasana. You're going to take your hand, roll that right calf out, tuck your heel in so that it's hugging your outer hip. Take your fingers, spread those toes, press them down. Left leg extends forward. Okay, take your strap, place it under your foot, and then you're going to grasp the mat, and you're going to gently roll the wrist out a little bit in such a way that the upper arms start to roll out. And then just kind of pull into that strap to help get more of a lift in the front of the chest and to take the middle of the shoulder blades in. Gaze at the toes. Press the inner left thigh down. Inhale, lift the upper body. Exhale, begin working your way down the strap. Okay, keeping the sternum lengthening, side ribs lengthening, spine lengthening, but maintaining a concave position at first. Okay, keep rolling the upper arms out as you keep walking forward. Again, you can take your hands to your leg, you can keep using the strap. Gaze at the toes. If you are using the strap, be careful not to overgrip in the palms. Okay, it's just a gentle grasp. As you're able to, keep working your way into the pose, maintaining the concave position at first. Spread the toes, press the inner left thigh down, press the right toes down. Inhale again, and then this time as you exhale, let the head come towards the knee. Keep pressing that left thigh down, breathe into the stretch. Try to become comfortable in the pose, focusing on the breath, feeling it throughout the body. One more breath. Inhale, exhale. Okay, and then you can use the straps or just take your hands to your leg, but come back to the concave position at first. Take a breath here. And then you can release the strap. Lean towards your left, swing that right foot forward. Shift your weight, shift your hips off of the blankets, and then sit up tall in Dandasana. Okay, and that's all we'll do for today. But I might try to film another video where I demonstrate Supta Virasana with using a chair next. Okay, so if you like the video, please hit the like button, and I hope to see you next time.